Hello and welcome to another episode of Going Topicless, the podcast with so little planning involved, it may as well be British Parliament. Joining me today is my good friend from the South, Cameron, otherwise known as Gandhi on the various internet socials. How you doing today, my friend?
Same shit, different day.
Sounds about right. What's changed since the last time you were on here?
Shit, when was that was probably what, January? February? It's probably been a few
January, yeah,
months. Yeah.
January.
Nothing. Chugging along. Moved since the last podcast. Moved.
Hey, same.
Yeah. Well, same city for me, just different spot. Liking it. Um, Not too much is going on. Got disappointed by Game of Thrones, like a lot of people did. I don't think you're a Game of Thrones person, but
I don't watch Game of Thrones, but Twitter was in an uproar when the last episode came out.
yeah, it was a hoot to say the least. No spoilers, but very disappointing. I think the writers were too focused on getting to Star Wars than they were actually finishing out the season. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, because they're like they're writing the new Star Wars, the CB Weiss or whatever the fuck their guys' names are. I don't know. I'm not that deep into who produces the show and all that, but yeah, nothing crazy new. Just kind of same stuff every single day. Going to work, coming home, playing video games, hanging out, going to sleep. Same old, boring life.
I hope you have time for showering and eating at some point.
Occasionally, yeah. I mean, but you just moved to Vancouver, right? How's the West Coast?
It's west. It's very
Not
coasty.
coast. Is it coasty?
Oh yeah.
I don't really even know where the fuck Vancouver is. I'm not very good at geography.
It's like basically the bottom left part of Canada.
Okay, so like towards like what, Washington a little bit.
Yeah, I think Washington's like an hour drive
Oh,
south.
really?
Not even probably.
Be a good spot to, I mean, take a weekend, go into
Yeah.
the states. I've always wanted to get out west. I've never been anywhere out there, so
I'm told California is pretty.
yeah, California would be quite a drive for you though.
Yeah, but I like driving. I've got a weird thing for driving. It's relaxing when you're not
I
dealing
feel
with other
that.
drivers on the road.
Well, going into California, depending on where you're going, all you're going to be doing is dealing with other drivers.
Oh, it's unfortunate. If only there was a day where there's just no drivers on the road and I could just enjoy it myself.
Sounds pretty apocalyptic.
Well, here's to hoping.
Nuclear fallout coming.
I'm like, yes, the zombies have gotten rid of everyone. I can drive freely.
Well, I think the U.S. has kind of squared stuff away with North Korea, so I don't think any nukes are coming our way for a while, at least.
Ah, oh, damn. I had such high hopes too.
Well, I mean, how's the train business treating you?
Well, that's partly why I've moved here, actually. Uh, I don't know if you probably don't keep track of the issues with Canada and foreign countries, but
Not too much. You
at
could you
some
could fill me in now.
at some point, we decided to arrest the I always pronounce the name wrong. Huawei? Is that the phone company that is spelt weird and based in out of
Oh, it
China?
like starts with an H. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like Wowie or something like that. Or
yeah. So
Hooey,
we
something like
uh, we arrested one of their executive officers, I think.
that. Oh, great.
Uh, and now China's really upset with us about it.
Uh,
So
Couldn't
it's
imagine
it's
why.
uh, it's really it's really harshened the whole trade thing. And because I work for a railway company that lives off of the trade between Canada and China, there have been a lot of layoffs, unfortunately. So I had to move here to Vancouver to join a different section of the CNR
Yeah.
in order to stay working. So
Damn.
that is that. Although I quite enjoy it here, I wanted to move here eventually, just wasn't planning on it so soon.
Right. Did they like pay for you to relocate at least, or did you have to do all that by yourself?
I had to do it all on my own. They offered
Damn.
me the position, but I had to do everything else at my own expense. So at
Damn.
least I'm not laid off.
Well, yeah,
Way.
I mean, you still have a job, but hell, that's like a cross country move for you, isn't it?
Barely. I was initially in Kamloops. It was like a 5 hour drive, so
Oh, I guess it's not terrible.
no.
But you don't. I mean, you don't know anybody in Vancouver, do you?
Just Sebastian, that's it.
Oh, okay. I
He's
couldn't remember
down.
if he was in Vancouver or not.
Yeah, he's down in the rich neighborhood, being all rich
Ah,
and stuff. Big
bougie ass,
surprise.
bougie ass man. I haven't talked to him in a long time.
Shame. I should get the two of you on this podcast together and you two can have fun.
Oh God. Actually, I think the last time I talked to Sebastian, I was hammered drunk playing video games alone one night. So
I mean,
I'm like blowing him up in Discord. I'm like, hey, get in the chat room. Go on. I was tanked. Just it was late. I mean, probably like 3 or 4 a.m. for me. So
isn't that
one
most
o'clock.
nights are on Discord?
Or depending on no, I mean it's rare. It's rare.
Alright.
But I don't know. I'm guessing the missus was out of town or something. But I was up super late, like playing video games, and I was just drinking way too much. And he was like the only person online. I think he was. I don't know. He's playing League or something. I don't know what the heck he was doing. But I just kept like blowing up his inbox, and he finally just like I think he had messaged me and was like, "Yeah, dude, we'll talk tomorrow." Like
Just didn't
didn't
want
come
to
in and
have
chat or anything.
anything to do with that.
Mm-mm. No, I think I shortly went to bed afterwards because I was like, okay, I should probably call it a night. Yeah, it was a tough one, but you win some, you lose some.
Ah, well.
What else is new in old Canada? How's. So I think the last podcast I was on with you, Canada had like just recently legalized marijuana. So like, have
Yeah.
you seen any kind of change? And now that it's been like a few months after all that,
I've noticed, surprisingly, there are still a lot of recreational use places like slowly starting
yeah,
up, like businesses that are just starting.
okay,
But I think like the overall use now that the hype has come and gone has gone down a lot.
okay.
It's
But are you seeing like an influx in like dispensaries or like
like
marijuana bars or anything like that?
more dispensaries are coming up,
Yeah.
but there's less overall usage, I think is the overall look.
Okay. So not a significant change to. I mean, it doesn't like alter like your daily living, like just
Not really,
from
honestly, as if you're not,
other citizens around.
yeah, pretty much. Literally, if you're not yourself marijuana user or you're
Yeah.
not close with someone as a marijuana user, it doesn't really you don't really notice it honestly.
Right. Well, that's good.
Because I mean, let's be honest, there were people smoking weed all the time already. They just
Mhm.
weren't doing it legally,
Right.
and now everyone can do it legally. They pretty much people who are already using it can go on their happy lives. The people that didn't use it
Yeah.
probably just don't worry about it.
Right. Yeah. Well, I have a buddy. He was just out in Los Angeles a couple months ago for business, and you know, pot's legal out in California,
Right.
obviously. And he was telling me like, he was out there for a business conference, and he was meeting a bunch of other people that like from his company and all that, and uh, they like had conference all day, and then at the end of the day, they like all went to a local bar and had a few cocktails, this and that, and then 10, 11 o'clock comes around, they're like, oh, let's get out of here, and some of them ventured off to try and find like the closest dispensary that they were like to their hotel, and one of the guys I guess had called the dispensary and was like, where the hell are you guys? Like, we can't find you. Like, we can't, we don't know, we're not from here, we don't know where you guys are located, this and that. And the guys from the dispensary, they're like, well, we're actually closed, but like we can deliver. And so
Oh,
they got like pot delivered to their hotel room,
that's
and I'm
awesome.
like, what a business! Like, just, it was like, you guys bring pizzas too, like,
Oh
it's
man,
just
in any pot store that sells pizza at the same time, they are golden.
oh, I mean that's got to be, you're just raking in the money if you're
Yeah.
selling pizzas and pot.
Yo,
That could be the
Boston
name.
Pizza. We got a business opportunity for you.
Boston pizza. The hell's that?
Do you not have Boston Pizza in the country that has Boston?
Wow, maybe in Boston. But as far as the East Coast goes, there's a million fucking pizza places.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like a
true.
novelty. Everybody's making pizza out in Jersey and Massachusetts and New York and all that.
Yeah, I was
So,
looking for like just now I was looking for a pizza place and like in North Van alone there's like six, seven different places I've never heard of before that sell pizza.
right.
And I think
What a,
almost every local restaurant sells pizza as well, even though it's not their main thing.
that's easy. It's cheap. Cheap to make, and you can sell it for
Yeah,
freaking $20.
and like you can't make a bad pizza.
Oh yeah, you can.
I mean you can, but people will still buy it.
Well, that's the problem. That's why people keep making it.
Yeah, I remember having back in Calgary having a pizza from I can't remember the place, but it was very disappointing pizza that I had. It just wasn't. I didn't even finish it. It's the first time I've never finished a pizza on my own, and I almost always finish pizza by myself.
Yeah.
And yet this one pizza was just really off-putting for some reason.
Just not good or what?
Yeah, I think I just didn't really have those juicy, enticing flavors that make you want more.
That's fair. We don't have too many local spots where I live. Just a lot of chains.
Right.
Yeah. But pizza, man. I actually had pizza for dinner last night. It's always a good choice, especially when you don't want to cook.
Oh yeah.
That's my thing. It's easy. Get it delivered. 30 minutes later, you're eating.
Easy.
Yeah, for sure. So, out in Vancouver, still running the train stuff, doing your
Yep.
thing. That's exciting. Very exciting.
Indeed. I'm now
And
I'm now qualified to operate trains remotely.
what does that mean? Like RC car ship?
Kind of, yeah.
Or when you say remotely, do you mean like actually in the train?
No, I mean like I can be on the ground with this pack with a bunch of controls on it, and I can go forwards, go backwards, ring the bell,
No
toot the horn.
kidding.
Yeah,
Huh. That's pretty cool.
indeed.
So you don't actually have to be like sitting in the caboose?
Nope.
Huh. How's that? Like, how far like does that transmit to be able to do that?
Um, I think the maximum range is like a mile,
Oh, okay.
so it's not too far and not really. It's more ideal for like small stuff in like the terminal.
Hmm.
And then actual like going from point A to point B across the country, that involves actual people doing work in the actual locomotive.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't fly a plane from the ground, I guess.
No. I
Be
mean,
cool if you
you
could, though.
could if you wanted to.
I guess,
Probably
like,
wouldn't go well.
depending on the plane. Well, yeah, like those drones and shit that you could, like,
Yeah.
not like, not Walmart drones, but like military drones.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the military is like a bunch of their stuff is remote controlled.
Yeah, like unmanned
Yeah, I mean
aircraft.
missiles are already unmanned. Why can't you do that with planes, forehead?
Hmm, size. It's probably probably not good. I mean, we're not throwing a Boeing Boeing plane up into the air, taking passengers cross country. I think that's the future, though, man. Like,
Oh,
I think
100%.
eventually pilots are just gonna be like a lost art.
Yeah, I mean we've already got remote control cars being mass
Hmm.
produced. We've got like container terminals in places like Switzerland that are like half, if not fully automated.
Oh,
Planes are the
really?
next
I didn't know
next big
that.
thing. Yeah.
Like, like metros, like kind of subway kind of stuff, like
It's sub
transit, like
subways are already. I mean, like
transit trains.
there's the SkyTrain here in Vancouver that's fully driverless.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh? I didn't know that. It's kind of scary.
it is when you think about it.
Like, if something messes up, I mean, you're like 100% relying on like a computer.
Yeah. It's gonna get to the point where literally the only jobs are maintaining the robots that are doing the jobs for you.
Hmm.
It looks like whoop, that's YouTube. Don't want to do that. I'm gonna get in trouble. But Eastern China, I think, looks like it has a fully automated port.
Oh wow.
Shanghai, yeah, this is old news too. It's from 2018.
Oh, shows you how much I keep up to date on things.
Yeah. China's massive new fully automated port terminal in Shanghai has opened and will soon ship up to 136 million tons around the world every year.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's got like it's a massive port too. Holy shit.
Cool.
So yeah, automation, it's a thing and it's coming.
Oh, it's definitely coming.
I
Well,
mean,
it's
it's
like even look at like
practically here.
Tesla. They've got those like autopilot
Yeah.
Teslas where yeah, you still you're recommended to obviously pay attention to the road, but you're not even really like driving the car.
Now you're just kind of sitting there making sure you don't crash into things.
Right. God, that would just scare the shit out of me
Yeah,
to not
I
actually
don't
be in
know
control of
how
like a vehicle.
I don't know how confident I would be with having an AI controlling my car.
Oof. I mean, I get pretty nervous just by letting Spotify like choose my music for me. Let alone like, let alone if Google tried to drive my whole car for me.
Yeah, that would be sketch. Especially like I don't know. It's one of those things where like, well, if everyone on the road had an automated car, then obviously things would go smoothly. You'd never have an accident, but because you're like one in 1,000 people on the highway with a car that's driving on its own.
Right. Well, I think that's going to be the big problem moving towards the future, anyways. With all things like that, I mean, the self-driving car will never take off because there's always going to be that like you know financial line that
Hmm.
it's never going to be affordable enough for your average Joe to be able to buy
Yeah.
one. And I mean, we're talking centuries of time must go by, and let's be realistic. I mean, no civilization has lasted more than what, like a few centuries.
Yeah, that's
By
true.
a few, I mean like 800-900 years,
Yeah.
maybe a millennium of time, which is also kind of messed up to think about because let's see, America was founded in 1776. We're coming up on 250 years as a nation.
Hmm.
Like, when do we fall?
Yeah.
Like,
It's quite the depressing thought, really. As long as I'm not around for it, that's all I care about.
oh no, we'll be gone. However, I wouldn't be surprised that like in our lifetime if we saw some anarchical shit.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, fuck, how old is like most of England in general?
Oh, I guess England has been around for. I mean, as
Like it's
far
been
as I
around
can
for a long
think
time,
back,
right?
as
But like,
what, like 1100, 1200s,
yeah.
like when the English monarch like first trumped up. I don't know. I'm not good at history. Now I gotta look it up. Start
But
of
I mean,
the English.
seems like Great Britain's time is coming with Brexit.
Okay, so this is from Wikipedia, so credible source here. Um, the
Accurate
British
information,
monarchy. British monarchy traces its origin from the petty kingdoms of early medieval Scotland and Anglo-Saxon England, which consolidated into the kingdoms of England and Scotland by the 10th century. England was conquered by the Normans in 1066, after which Wales too gradually came under control of Anglo-Normans. So we're looking at you know, almost a full millennium of British,
right?
but there was a lot of war and a lot of power
I
takeovers and
think
conquering and
I
shit.
think that's why we saw like so many civilizations from back then like fell, is because of there was so much war back then. And
Oh
like,
yeah, for sure.
mind you, we still have wars now, but you don't really see nations conquering other nations anymore.
No, we're just fighting over oil now,
Yeah, pretty much.
which is a stupid resource that we're just gonna run out of anyways.
Exactly. That's what needs to happen. We just need to use up all the oil, and then we'll have world peace. Obviously,
Oh
that's
no, if we use up all the oil, there'll be fucking chaos because nobody will know what to do with themselves.
true.
Because it goes back to the self-driving car shit. It's all the alternative forms of energy like solar or electric and all that. People don't want to pay for it.
hmm it's got a long ways to go, but I think we're on the path to success. It's just going to be a while, and it's going to be a big move too.
Well, I don't think it's a move that we'll see in our lifetime. Unfortunately, we'll see
Probably
gas
not.
prices hit $9 a gallon, but we won't
Yeah.
have a majority of electric cars on the road.
Yeah, there's I see like all the time in the news, various cities looking to move to or completely ban gas automobiles in like
How
by
would
like
you do that?
2025, stuff like that.
I just don't think it's feasible.
At the current rate, no, just 'cause like I don't
Think
know.
about how many cars. I would imagine one of the biggest. Like Volkswagen is probably one of the biggest car manufacturers in the world. If I had to take a guess, I'm sure they're probably all pretty comparable, but the Germans have Volkswagen, and they're not slowing down production. They're coming out with new models of every single make.
Fiat
You know,
Chrysler automobiles is apparently the biggest.
really. Hmm. Okay. Go America.
Yeah. America, fuck yeah.
Hmm. Okay. That doesn't surprise me. I guess Chrysler's a huge company and
Yeah.
they employ millions of people.
Next
So
to that is Nissan, then
okay.
Ford and Tesla coming in at number four.
Wow, wow. Okay, that's pretty surprising. I mean, Tesla hasn't been around for too long, right?
No, but you know, the Elon Musk pushing the whole automation thing.
Well, that and it's the those electric cars, and
hmm
it's we're slowly seeing that shift and
I think
the going
unless
off
all
of the
these
gas.
other big car producers start pushing towards electric cars, I think Tesla's gonna one day be on top.
Well, I'm pretty sure that all major manufacturers have an electric or a hybrid alternative, but the price is ridiculous on them.
Yeah, and like they don't like their battery life is just piss poor compared to like any normal gas vehicle.
Well, yeah, and it's not as simple as just filling up a gas tank and getting back on the road. You
Yeah, no,
gotta
some of them take
let them
hours
charge
to
up for
charge
hours.
completely.
Right. That's my thing is I wouldn't be able to. Well, I wouldn't have a place to charge an electric car like at home because
Right.
I mean I live like in an apartment, so but even if I did have like a home and could charge an electric car in my garage or something and whatnot, could you imagine just how much that would cost you each month to
The
like
electricity bill would be
in
huge.
yeah, oh it'd be insane. It's already expensive just to put gas into a car. I
Yeah.
think right now when I was driving home, the cheapest gas station I saw when I drove home earlier after work was like 2.90 a gallon.
Oof.
Yeah, it's getting expensive again.
Hmm. And you think too, like Canada and America, are very big countries. So if you want to go like anywhere remotely distant, that's gonna cost you a lot of recharge time and a lot of money.
Hmm. Oh yeah, well, and I think, and I'm not great on, I don't know too much about the topic, but I'm pretty sure as far as like a full charge and like one of those electric cars, like all electric cars, you're only getting like 5 or 6 hours of battery,
I think so.
something. I mean, it's not a lot. You're not getting super far. And that probably varies depending on like how fast you're going and all that kind of stuff. But I couldn't imagine going on like a road trip in an electric car.
No.
I remember when I was in college, there were some places on campus that had like charging stations. There was like a few like parking spots that had like charging stations for vehicles. We had to like pay for them there. It wasn't like when like you could just park there and like charge up your car. You had to like pay for it like a parking meter.
Right. Here's just a couple of quick statistics brought up. The average electric vehicle goes about 100 miles before it needs to be recharged.
What? Oh
Uh,
my god, I was giving it way too much time.
yeah, the only the
Jeez.
only the only exception that is listed here is the Tesla Model S. Again, Tesla being pioneers of the electric nation,
Right, yeah.
which can go 250 miles on a single charge.
Oh my god, that's still nothing.
I
That's like
know.
it's like 3 or 4 hours of driving.
Yeah, I couldn't even make my move in that amount of charge. I'd still have to recharge halfway through.
God. Yeah, I mean it's not. You're putting too much. The only way that electric cars could take off in like a broad society is if you made like other means of transportation way more affordable. Like
Right.
if you made airplane travel more affordable, then the electric car thing wouldn't be that bad. Like if the electric car was just like your daily commuter,
Yeah. Like
then it'd be
absolutely
okay.
110% an electric car is fine for, putzing around the city or
Yeah.
stuff like that. But when it comes to like a long commute, if you're even just going from like state to state, it's gonna do you in really good with further financially. And
Yeah.
it's just not
Well,
not
and then once
feasible
you get
for
to your
long distance
destination,
stuff.
you gotta wait. I wonder how long it takes to charge up, like to get a full charge.
Let's have
Is
a
there anything that
Google.
says that? Because if you could
It
get like a
seems
full charge in
it's
like
it
20 minutes, then
it definitely varies depending on uh,
the kind of
which
battery and all
car
that kind of stuff.
company.
Yeah.
Seems like the current range is anywhere between 30 minutes or 12 hours, depending on the car. But I do not want to buy a fucking electric car where it's going to take me half the day to charge it.
I was gonna say 12 hours. Like that's not even a night's sleep. That's more than that.
Yeah, it depends on the size of the battery and the speed of the charging station.
Thank
It's like
God.
not only does it depend on the car that you have, but it also depends on the quality of the charging station you're using. So like one
Right.
charging station could take you an hour, the next charging station could take you the full day.
That's insane. I would never do it. I couldn't make a switch like that. However, it would be nice to have one of those cars where it's like you have the option to either like be electric or be gas.
Hmm.
I think some of the Tesla cars do that.
Yeah.
I think even Chevy makes a car where it's I think it's like the Chevy Volt. I think it's like one of those kind of hybrid cars where it like runs on battery and runs on gas.
Yeah,
Maybe even is the Prius like that?
I don't know shit about cars, so I got no clue.
I don't either, dude. It's a lost cause for me. I fucking pay somebody to change my oil.
Yeah,
I'm keeping mechanics in business.
fuck, I'm trying to get myself a car to get around Vancouver in, and I'm like, I have no clue what's good and what's not.
I just buy a bicycle.
I have a bike, but unfortunately, I live on a mountain, so biking home from work is a fucking nightmare.
Oh, yeah, that sucks. Never mind. I wouldn't do that either.
So currently,
I was
it's
just
biking downhill to work, and then taking a cab back.
I was just in Chicago last weekend, and thankfully I didn't get shot. Um, but we were driving down Lakeshore Drive, which is like one of the busiest roads like in Chicago. And God, the traffic. I mean, we were just like in basically like inching forward traffic for 30 minutes. Going 2 miles down the road, and all these people on bicycles are just zooming past us on like the bike lanes and on the pedestrian walks and all that stuff. And I told my girlfriend, I was like, if we for some reason ever move to a city like this, I would never drive again. I would 100% either buy a bicycle and be in the best shape of my life, or I would Uber everywhere, because I would not put myself through the agony of sitting in traffic as the driver for, an hour plus of commuting every freaking day
Yeah,
just to get across the city.
just to go fucking grocery shopping or even trying to
Right.
get to work.
Oh God, I couldn't imagine trying to go grocery shopping in a place like that.
Yeah, you get home and your ice cream's melted. What good is that?
Always worried about your ice cream.
Oh yeah, that's all that matters.
Well, I hope you can at least find some good chocolate milk in Vancouver and everything's kosher there.
Oh yeah, I did get some. I do have some chocolate milk actually. I'm surprised I didn't pour myself a glass for this. What is wrong with me?
So what else is in the news that you've seen lately? I haven't been keeping up with it, man. I see too much shit at work already. I don't want to come home.
Alabama.
Oh fuck me. Okay, I saw some of that. God damn it.
I thought for sure you would have heard about that.
Yeah, I did see a couple things. What
Yeah.
what what did I see? You tell me what I saw.
You saw.
I'm just glad I don't live in Alabama. Those cousin fuckers, dude. I don't understand what the hell they're doing.
what's the? Sebastian makes a joke about southern states all the time. He does an impression. He says, my girlfriend recently broke up with me, but it's okay. She said we can still be cousins. He does the
That's pretty
accent
good.
better than me, but it's a fun joke.
That's pretty good. Yeah, they kind of dropped the ball. I will say, however, I will just to maybe not defend Alabama in any way. I'm not going to defend them. I think the recent bill that they passed concerning the abortion stuff and all that is pretty insane. But I
I
will
th-
say that all the people who are, you know, it's died down since everything's kind of blown over. Everybody forgot about it, and we're probably going back to net neutrality next week or something. Um, but
no,
the
next
people
week I'm sure I think we're bound for another impeachment hashtag.
I just figured that was always trending on Twitter at this point. But I saw so many people reposting the same picture over and over again when all the Alabama talk was going on, and it was like one of those things where it was just like the same sentence written over and over again, kind of like Bart Simpson on the chalkboard type things.
Yeah,
And it was like men shouldn't be making laws about women's bodies or something like that. And
yeah,
I'm just
I've
like
probably seen that one
that.
too.
I was like that. that sounds great until you realize that the Alabama governor is a woman
Yeah, that is
and
a
she
thing.
signed it. Like, she could have not signed it. She could have fought against it, but she signed it. So,
That is
I
true.
mean,
Like every time I see like hot topics like this come up, and I'm like, yeah, I get the point you're trying to make, but your argument is shit. You know, like I listened to the arguments both for and against abortion, and both on both sides, I'm like, you could use a better argument than it should be viable outside the womb or something like that, or it's the start of life. Well, what do you? Yeah, I don't fucking know. I just think everyone could flesh out their arguments a bit better, especially like you bring up the thing with men shouldn't be making laws about women's bodies when a woman was very much in part of
I
making
mean,
that
like,
law.
yeah, I mean, that's, and, yes, there is the things where, like, oh, well, yeah, she would have vetoed it, but got a 2/3 vote and just overturned it and yada yada. But she didn't veto it. She signed it right away.
Yeah,
Like, the the argument to this being, a man versus woman thing, or whatever people are really trying to, like, bitch and moan about, like, there's women that sit in the Alabama Senate.
yeah.
And I would have to look it up on, how many people, for a gender discrepancy. Um, but, well, here, actually, let's pull this up right here. Okay, I do see a lot of men, um, right off the top of this list here. Let's see, there's 35 people, who sit on the Alabama Senate. Um, one, uh, gosh, you never know with names on if they're man or woman anymore. We'll
Can't even
call it
tell with
two,
appearances anymore
three.
these days.
Um, okay, well, we're looking at, like, maybe less than 5 women probably on the
Right.
entire Alabama Senate. Um, so I mean, it's not a good ratio. Not a good ratio as far as, this whole men shouldn't be making rules. Um, However,
According to
of those women,
this,
what you get?
the Washington Post says only 3 women had a voice in the thing versus 25 men.
Because there's only 3 women that sit on the freaking Senate. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that sounds about accurate.
Yeah. Let's see, and then, of those women, you got Vivian Davis Figures, Democrat. Um, Priscilla Dunn, Democrat, and maybe Shay. Shay sounds like a woman's name, right?
Yeah, I know a female Shay.
Let's see. This doesn't confirm or deny her gender. Um, we'll say she's a woman. Shay sounds like a woman. Let's see if I can
Sorry,
find a
Shay, if you're
picture.
not a woman.
Oh, let's see. No, Shay Shelnut is not a woman.
All right, good to know.
Whoops. Okay, well, tried. Um, uh, I don't. Yeah, I don't know who else would be a woman here. This is a lot of men.
That's all.
We'll say that.
We've come to that conclusion at least.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of men. But I'm pretty sure that the women that did, or the women that did have a. Oh, here we go. Linda. Linda is the third woman. All 3 women are. They represent themselves with the Democratic Party, so their votes against the abortion laws doesn't surprise me.
Right.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and as far as the voting goes, the split was what? How many? What was it? You said 25-3.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, really? That's it? Well, there's 8 Democrats that sit on the Alabama Senate, so
Oh,
5 of them didn't vote.
I guess, or some of them were for the abortion thing.
Hmm.
That's the thing I think a lot of people don't realize is like just because you side with one political party or the other does not mean that your views are so cut and dry. Like a Democrat can
No.
be for or against abortion, but they
Oh
have
yeah.
other views that put them on the Democratic side, right? And the
Yeah,
same
well,
thing
for
with
sure, and
Republicans. I
that's
know
the
there
problem
are,
with politics in general is that we try and separate ourselves through party lines,
yeah.
and when one person or when a politician or somebody that the quote unquote the people have elected to represent their overall party views don't side with those outstanding political sightings of things, they uproar happens,
Well, people
and I'm
don't do
sure
their
that there's a
research
lot
is the
of.
thing. Like people just see
Oh,
the
absolutely.
Democratic or Republican Party under the person's name and they're like, "Yes, I'm going to vote for this guy or
Hmm.
woman." And then they later find out that this person is I don't know, racist and sexist and they're like, "Well, that doesn't line up with my views." Well, did you do your fucking research? No, you didn't. You just saw the party name and that's all you
Hmm.
voted for.
Right. Well, that's kind of the that's that's why so many people are, well, not so many people, but that's why a small minority of people are wanting to, as far as American politics go, is to create this shift of like straying away from uh, this bipartisan system. If you look at a lot of other political powers throughout the world. Like the English Parliament is actually a great example because in their representation through Parliament, they have like 7 or 8 different parties that sit on their floor and make decisions concerning their entire government.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it's to base everything off of one side or the other is insane. But the problem is that this system has existed so long in America and in American politics, and it's all the only thing that people know.
Yeah.
It's either red or blue. Nobody thinks of any other party when it comes to election time.
Yeah,
It's
I
either
mean,
you're with
I
this side or you're with the other, and uh,
I, for the
the,
longest part, assumed that America only had the two parties, but there are actually like various independent
no,
parties as well.
there's a lot of smaller parties that just don't have the flag. The biggest third party throughout the United States is the Libertarian Party,
Right.
and it started making waves decades ago. But the Libertarian Party keeps selecting fucking idiots to run as their front runners when it comes to election time, like Gary Johnson, who is just uneducated when it comes to current events. And listening to him speak during interviews is just makes me want to bang my head through a fucking wall. Now, I was very upset. I mean, just to think back to election time back in November, um, as far as I think it was New York, like the New York Senate race, when that what's her name, Alexandria Ortez Cortez or whatever AOC. I don't know. She's always on Twitter bitching about you know God knows what. Um, she won the race, but she was running against the Libertarian candidate for New York was Larry Sharp, and Larry Sharp is a fucking brilliant man. He's super intelligent, knows his shit. Um, but he was running for if Larry Sharp would have ran as the Democratic candidate, but continued to hold his libertarian views throughout his candidacy, uh, that would have been the best thing for that region in New York.
Right.
But instead, you end up with this woman who wants to complain about abortions and how she used to be a bartender and yada yada whatever. Just but Larry Sharp would be an excellent selection for a presidency bid for 2020. He won't win. Nobody's going to beat Donald Trump. It's as simple as that.
Nah.
Nobody's taking him down in a political race.
Democrats just
The
start getting their shit together. I don't think they're not gonna get their
They
shit together in
can't.
time.
The last tally I saw, there was like 26 different Democratic candidates that have put a bid in for presidency.
Yeah, I saw that. There's
26. There's
no.
like one from like every fucking blue state there is.
Yeah, like I don't. I haven't heard of any of them. I don't. I'm not saying I keep track of American politics much, but I thought for sure I'd know at least some of them from the news. Barely heard
Well,
of any of these names before, and I
uh,
doubt
you know
half of
Joe
Americans
Biden.
have either.
You got Joe Biden,
I heard of
Elizabeth
him,
Warren, that Beto guy. I think he's from New York. Um,
but like people keep talking about impeachment. People keep talking about who's the new president for 2020, but like
guess what? It's gonna be Donald Trump.
yeah, there's
Like,
there's there's
no,
no
stop it.
if let's say you genuinely do impeach Donald Trump, well then what? Mike Pence would take his place?
Yeah, because that's how
Yeah,
that's how
is
American
that
politics works.
is that really
It's not,
better?
no, and I don't. I
Exactly.
think that's the funny part. People are always like, "Yeah, impeach Trump," but then they don't realize Pence is gonna succeed him.
Yeah.
And then, as far as like cutthroat, true and true, to the bone conservative politics go, that's Mike Pence.
Yeah.
He is he does not want to see a separation between church and state. He he would, I mean, crack down on conservative, social status if he were ever to actually run the White House. And I
Right.
think the thing that people don't realize about Donald Trump is, yes, he ran in that Republican, party. He was the front runner. He was the party's candidate for presidency back in 2016. But his primary focus and his primary, goal from being that Republican front runner was his stance on economic issues.
Hmm.
He throughout his entire presidency, he hasn't fucking touched on social issues. He could care less.
Yeah,
And
not really, no.
realistically, that's probably for the best. Social issues aren't a government. It's nothing that can be ever be controlled by government. Yes,
It
you
really
can look at
shouldn't,
things
honestly.
like like back in the 1960s with the Civil Rights Act and the strides that the American government tried to make towards decreasing or eliminating racism in the United States. Yes, all of those acts that were enacted back in the 60s and 70s, they were very good. I mean, when was Brown versus the Board of Education? Like 1958, I think. It's probably way wrong, but like things like that. Yes, those are needed. It was oh, I was close. 1953, maybe, because it started in 52. Either way, 1950s. So Brown versus the Board of Education was important to put into policy that you know uh, publicly funded school systems are supposed to be equal, yada yada. But all that sparked up was Jim Crow laws and more bullshit from the South about just because they're they're separate but equal, but they were never equal. They were separate, but each received funding, not similar funding. It was still a shit show. But as time progressed and some more policies came into play, but I think the big part of it is time went on. You know, I think where we're stuck right now is the baby boomers are still here. They're still voting.
Hmm.
They're still creating legislation in the United States. Once the boomers are gone, well, then we got to deal with Gen X, which was raised by the boomers. We're gonna have more of the same, but the never ending lapse of all this is that it starts from your upbringing. If racism isn't inherited, it's learned.
True.
So if you're raised in an environment, if your parents are racist, or if your grandma and grandpa are racist or sexist or homophobic or whatever, you're going to learn those traits and you're going to think of yourself as better than these people. It's wrong. Absolutely it's wrong. And I hope that at some point throughout not just, the American society or Canadian society, but on a whole worldview, we can someday stop looking at people like this, but instead, actually take them for their character and then just judge them for being pieces of shit, not for being gay or black or white or
Yeah,
brown or whatever. But when we continue to, have our elders or our parents or classmates or politicians, clergy in the church, whatever, raising people or I don't want to use the word educating, but exposing developing minds to behavior such as, homophobic behavior or racist behavior or xenophobic behavior, misogynistic shit, whatever, the cycle's going to continue. And
exactly.
no piece of legislation or policy or anything like that is going to ever fix those problems, because those are social issues. Just by putting something into law isn't going to stop anything, and that goes for anything. It doesn't matter if it's a social issue or a criminal issue or whatever it may be. Making something illegal isn't going to stop it. If it did, then there wouldn't be murders in the world, or people wouldn't do meth or whatever. Like, people are going to do that shit because that's what they've been taught to do. That's what they've learned it from someone. You don't just wake up one morning and like, oh well, I'm going to be racist today. Like, no, these are learned behaviors over a long period of time. And until we get to a point where everybody is just like, why are we doing this? Why are people acting like this? We're just never going to stop.
Right. This is
But
you've literally outlined exactly why I have and always will fight for better education for the youth on today's social issues. Because if we
well,
can,
I think it's an important topic as well.
yeah,
Yes, and it's something that we overlook too often in our education system, because people our education boards are too worried about standardized testing and
hmm
grades and graduation rates and all that kind of stuff. It, there's so many great human beings from our history, from even the last century, even
oh
the
yeah,
last 50 years, that have made strides as far as social issues go, but you don't learn about them in school, other than maybe Martin Luther King Jr.
yeah,
or um,
prominent members who you don't even learn about unless you take history class, which up to a certain point in high school is an elective. You don't even have to take it.
well, no, I had to take several years of history when I was in high school.
Yeah, I know for like the first, well, here for at least for the first few years of high school, it was uh, mandatory course, but I think the last
Okay.
2 years it was an elective. I think. Don't quote me on that.
Well, I guess one of those years was like a world history class, so
Yeah,
we talked about like Mesopotamia and shit like that.
yeah, and you talk
We
about
didn't.
like a few
Yeah.
prominent figures like Muhammad Ali, Gandhi, what the guy you just named? Fuck, you literally
MLK.
just named him. Martin Luther King, that's his name.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, you learn about him, and then I took a couple history classes when I was in college, which uh, uh, one of the history classes was like a modern kind of modern day America and shit like that, and it was actually a like a sports history class, so it talked more about like prominent names in like sports in America, and uh, kind of the strides that they made during their careers, and how they touched on social issues and stuff. And Muhammad Ali was, we talked about him a lot because he had a very long career. He was a very, famous athlete. He this and that, whatever.
Hmm.
Um, but he was like best friends with like Malcolm X, and And, Malcolm X is one of those. He was. I don't want to say he was just like Martin Luther King, because he wasn't. Malcolm X was uh, very. He was pro pro black. He
Right.
wasn't like pro equality so much, and but it was his movement was still important, and he was in a part of like the Church of Islam and all that. But you don't learn about Malcolm X much in history classes, like when you're an adolescent going through high school and all that. But what he spoke about was important on like the other side of things, as far as the civil rights movement, and uh like trying to show that just because you're a person of color doesn't mean that you can't strive towards
Right.
success in America. um and I think where we've fallen now, and I'm talking out of turn probably as a white male, but I think where we've fallen now, and I notice it um, a lot at work, um, and just because I work in social work and stuff like that, and um, I do have clients that they really do express to me just how they find it difficult to be black individuals in the world today, and I can't relate because I've never been there, obviously. um, but I think the what's hard for me to see, and it's even harder for them to explain to me, is where we are now in 2019, where look at, just for example, Barack Obama was president for 8 years of the United States. He was a black man. Yes, he was
First
a very
first black
affluent
president,
black
right?
man. He went to Harvard, this and that. But I'm pretty sure he grew up in Chicago, you know made his way to Harvard, had to have money to do that. But it's the color of your skin isn't so much as what's holding people back. But I think so many people today like to use it as a crutch,
Yeah, as an
or
excuse.
even um and that even goes for the impoverished population. Well, you've got generation after generation born into poverty, and so then they just accept their poverty as, well, this is how it's going to be.
Right.
I'll just stay where I'm at and never try and better their lives. You're
I
only
almost
given one
feel like
life.
that
Make
was I almost feel like that was because you brought up poverty, which is it's a real hard hitter for home for me. I
right.
almost feel like that was literally the case with my family because like my parents and I grew up in poverty,
Hmm.
poor, living paycheck to paycheck, and it always felt like we weren't really making that big of an effort to get out of it. It was always like, well, this works, we'll just keep doing this. And
Yeah,
I
and
think I
it's
was like the
tough.
first one in my family to be like, fuck that. I want to do what I love and move and not be living like this. And here I am. It worked for me. I don't see why it wouldn't work for
Right.
anyone else.
Well, you put your head down and you fucking got to it.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm saying is, if you take half the amount of energy it takes to bitch and moan about where you're sitting right now in your life, and you try to do something that it may not be your end goal. It may not be exactly what you want to do. You might be, working 60 hours a week to make a little extra cash to hopefully get to where you're going or where you want to go. But so many people fall into this pit of, oh, well, I grew up in poverty. My mom was on welfare. I'm going to be on welfare. I'll get the free housing. I'll work maybe 10 hours a week, because if I work any more than that, then they're going to take my food stamps away and this and that. And it's like, that's the underlying issue. It's this handout mentality of, you know, how much can I get without doing anything in return?
right.
And
I
from what
think
I've
like
observed through my line of work is, so many people do nothing because they get the most out of it,
Yeah.
from the government. They get the housing, they get, a free cell phone and food stamps and this and that. And I'm like, fuck, dude, some of my clients at work, they have more food in their fridge than I do. And they don't even have fucking jobs. Like that's what blows my mind about it, is what the hell am I busting my ass for every day to to come home and eat ramen noodles. like, like, some of it blows my mind, but it's just this never-ending cycle of handouts.
Right. And
And
like I think part of it too is like people think about what it'd be like to get out of the situation they're in, and they see this endless wall of challenges that they need to overcome, and they think, well, that's not fucking worth it. Why don't I just stay here where it's simple and familiar, right? They don't want to venture out into the unknown. They don't want to face what life is coming upon them for, even if it's a chance for a better life, 1,000 times better than what it is. That thought of having to get off your ass and do something about it is just too daunting for some people, and I think that's why so many people stay in the terrible situations they're in.
yeah, no, I agree. I think it's just that fear of the unknown,
Exactly.
really. But I think what kind of just makes me, not upset. I'm not upset about it, but uh, confuses me more or less is, if you take, how Martin Luther King just like sparked this fire in so many people. I mean, he just uplifted the spirits of millions throughout the nation. And if he saw that here we are now, fucking 40, 50 years later, and what, as on a broad scale of it, on a broad spectrum of it, I mean, how much change has really occurred as far as like the lives of the overall majority of people of color.
I'd say like after he was assassinated and like the hype of it died down, I'd say most people just kind of stopped marching, and in some cases even went back to their old ways in with
And
the
I
way
think that's
things were.
why, when shitty things happen, like, like a police officer, murders a person of color, or some crazy shit happens like that, and that uproar happens, but that uproar occurs in the form of like rioting.
Hmm.
We're not fixing anything here. We're destroying our own communities, and it's not productive in my mind to get to the solution that you want. I understand that, to some degree I can't relate by any means, but I understand that the frustration is there.
Hmm.
But the execution on trying to get your point across doesn't make any sense to me, because, you know, MLK didn't riot in the streets.
No.
He he protested. He he fought for what he believed in, and he did it in a manner that did not cause uproar, because he knew that violence wasn't the answer for things. But we so often focus on, well, I'm going to take what I deserve, and I'm going to, you know, we become so tunnel visioned to one point of attack that we as humans just think that violence is going to get us somewhere.
Yeah. Far too often we think the man with the biggest fist will get what he wants, and that's what we try to do. That's why we try to, you know, riot and flip cop cars when we're not getting what we want, when there's better and I would say even more effective ways of making change happen in the world.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I don't ever I don't ever agree with violence on any level. I I wish that we could stop worldwide violence altogether. We're stuck in wars that we've been fighting since the 70s, and we're creating new ones every other week.
Yeah.
You know, a bombing here, a shooting there, whatever. It's insane just how many bad things are happening everywhere, even on small levels. I mean, look at the crime around your own community.
Oh yeah. Have you heard of Daryl Davis?
Daryl Davis. I don't think so.
He's a black man, blues musician, and he
Okay,
has convinced over 200 Ku Klux members to give up their robes, not through violence, but through
that's
friendship.
good. Okay,
He's
it's a step in the direction.
yeah, he's spent the last 30 years uh, befriending various members of the Ku Klux Klan or Ku Klux Klan.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm. That's pretty cool.
Says
I mean, it
he
just
says once the friendship blossoms, the Klansmen realize that their hate may have been misguided.
well,
Starts
and that
talking with these
kind of goes
members
back
and
to
stuff.
what I was
Yeah,
saying earlier. That kind of behavior. It's not. You don't just inherit that shit.
exactly.
Like you're taught to think like that.
hmm
You're not just born with a racist gene.
And
And
then yeah, we were
once you actually talk to someone or try and just listen to their stories, and I think that's what I enjoy so much about my job is I just get to talk to so many different kinds of people from various, socioeconomic statuses, various races, and just different walks of life and cultures and all that. And I mean, it allows me to just kind of see life from a different perspective every so often, and more or less makes me. I mean, sometimes it makes me appreciate, you know, my upbringing more than I ever have, and it also makes me feel some sympathy for others because I kind of get a glimpse into what their lives have been and unfortunately probably always will be
right.
because of what they were born into and how they've just kind of been dealt this shit end of the stick. But
Sorry if anyone heard my phone just then. I muted it now.
hmm,
But yeah, it's because we were on the topic of solving things peacefully without fighting. Well, here we have a man literally weeding out racism just by being friendly with the racists.
right. I mean, no, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes a lot of courage too from
Oh, 100%.
Daryl Davis. I mean, that's insane. And I wish that more people could make that kind of impact on others' lives to just show them, hey, I'm just a person like you.
Yeah.
We've all got shit that we've gone through, and nobody's tunnel is fully lit, but there's probably a little bit of light at the end of it. And but I do fear that in our lifetime we're not going to do it because we're too worried about being right.
Yeah.
Everybody, we're too worried about we're too worried about having to show any kind of remorse or blame or whatever it may be. I don't I don't hold guilt for being a white man. I shouldn't have to. I didn't live, that life from centuries ago.
hmm
And it's I will say that it's frustrating when you read online or you see stuff on Twitter or Instagram or whatever the hell it might of just people demanding things, from and it's died down, and it's been several months since I've really seen any of it, but I think it was most prominent around uh, the most recent president election back in 2016 when people were all over the internet. Give me, you know, we deserve reparations for the lives that you gave our ancestors and this and that. It's like, I don't owe you anything. I don't know who any of my ancestors are.
Right.
Like, I have 5 family members as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I don't know anybody else
Yeah,
in that
same. I
line
literally,
of
the only time I ever learn about someone is when I need to know about someone for history class. It's literally it.
but
Like some sort of school projects, like, hey, talk about someone from your family. I'm like, I don't know any family from family. Help.
mm-mm. No, I have no idea. Speaking of history, though, we about to revisit some motherfucking history. Did you
Uh-oh.
see the news that came out from Call of Duty yesterday?
Let's see. I haven't followed Call of Duty in a long time.
Yeah, I know. Me either. New title for October: Call of
Oh,
Duty Modern Warfare.
again?
What do you mean again? It's been like 8 years since
Modern.
they've done a
Oh, they're doing
modern version.
is it like a reboot?
No, it's not a remake or a remaster. It's like a brand new title. It's
Brand new,
literally
but
just
it's
called.
Modern Warfare.
Yeah, so I guess the thing that I saw online was like Call of Duty 4 was like COD 4 Modern Warfare, and so this would technically be like the 4th game in the series. So
Hmm.
they're like just calling it Call of Duty Modern Warfare, like instead of like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 or whatever. But they like dropped like a teaser trailer yesterday of it, and it's got like some big names like Captain Price and Soap were in the trailer.
Oh, joy.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be crazy. I haven't. I mean, I did play a bit of zombies on Black Ops 4, but I just didn't care for the multiplayer.
Yeah.
I don't like that futuristic shit, man. If I'm playing something futuristic, it better be Halo. However,
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't know
glad
if
they've
you've seen
gotten out
it
of the modern vibe. They're kind of like I don't think they executed it well. Like shooting modern stuff in modern settings is a cool idea, but it's just it didn't really play out well
for what? What's that?
in Call of Duty.
Oh, like the futuristic shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like the wall running and jumping around, and
yeah.
I, I don't know.
Especially
I
like
like,
what was the one? Was it like Infinite Warfare
yeah,
was
Infinite
futuristic,
Warfare was super
where you
futuristic.
just fucking
It literally like flew around the map,
yeah, that one was
jetpacks and
ridiculous.
shit. Well, they had like a string of them. There was like the first one was like Advanced Warfare, and then they went to uh, then it was like Black Ops 3, which was still like jetpacks and
Hmm.
flying around the map and shit. And then they had Infinite Warfare, and then from that they went to like World War II again,
Yeah,
and then now they're on this one, which is like it's futuristic, but it's not like jetpacks. You're not like flying around the map anymore, but it's still like crazy AI machines and
right.
unrealistic guns and all that kind of stuff. Me and I was playing this game. It's free to play on Steam. I was playing it a few weeks ago. Oh god, what's it called? It's like Spitfire or something like that.
That
It's
sounds
basically like
familiar.
a mix between Halo and Portal.
Huh. I'm
Yeah.
intrigued.
Oh, super cool. I mean, I think it's just in beta right now. Here, I'm desktop just for yeah. It's Splitgate Arena Warfare.
Splitgate, okay.
Yeah, super fun. Let me see if I can like link it in
There's a
chat.
founder edition for 23 bucks.
I think it's free to play though, so don't do
Yeah, I noticed there's a free to play one.
that.
I don't know what this includes though.
Probably like some cosmetics or some shit. I don't know.
It
Every
has
game
an
has
exclusive
microtransactions
armor
now.
set. Yeah, I don't give a
Yeah,
shit about how I look. I just want to play the game. Fuck.
it's fun. You should check it out.
I'll do that on the next stream.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, you'll get paired up against some sweaties for sure, but
I mean, if it's any
it's
online
every
multiplayer game,
FPS. Yeah,
yeah,
I saw you were playing some train sim earlier. How's that going?
yeah, it's not too bad.
Is that is that 2019 or 2018?
It's 2019. It's a new version in Unreal Engine 4. It
Yeah,
it has
it
its
looks pretty
pros.
good.
It has its cons.
Has
Sort
its
of
what?
a it I said it has its pros and it has its
Mm,
cons.
yeah. Well, that's any game.
Yeah.
I was um I was kind of wanting to jump onto some City Skylines earlier, but man, I've just been playing the hell out of Diablo 3 lately. New season dropped a couple weeks ago, and
Oh, how's it?
oh gosh, it's stressful. No, it's fun. I like Diablo because I just kind of I mean it's just like a chill game. You just kind of relax and click some shit. Like
Right.
it's not. I mean, it's kind of mindless, really. Not too much is really going on, and it's just like an action RPG looter kind of game, and
Oh, nice.
it's fun. I like it. I've been playing it for years. I started playing it around the time I graduated high school, so back in like 2014, and they do things like their seasons, like season journeys and stuff like that, where every like 3 months they release a new season. You have to like start a new character, and you like basically start from scratch as if you like never played the game before, and
Oh,
just like I don't know, it's kind of just like a brand new start. You don't have any of the stuff from like other characters available and crafting materials or levels or anything like that. So it's kind of like you just got the game fresh out the box.
right.
It's fun. Brings some life into me, and I play video games for a few weeks in a row when a new season drops, and then I'm normally over it like after the first month,
Right.
and then I'm just back to fucking Rocket League or something. Ugh, that game just Rocket League is slowly becoming Counter Strike, and as in like I just get so frustrated with it because I'm not any good.
I had it
What
on
else? What else?
PlayStation 4, and then once I stopped pretty much using my PS4 entirely, I basically forgot the existence of Rocket League. But I think I'll get it on Steam just for the sake of it.
Yeah, I mean
It's
that's
fun
like
to
my
play with,
second
especially when you
most
got
played
friends and
game on
stuff.
Steam. I mean I got like Counter Strike and then Rocket League as far as like hours played.
Right.
But what else have you been playing on stream? Anything good?
I tried out The Forest for the first time the other day.
Yeah, I think I have that game. I don't think I've ever played it.
Yeah, it is multiplayer apparently.
Really?
Like I've never played it before. I've only seen like a couple of videos on it. It's pretty interesting. It's about what you'd expect from any survival-esque game. You got your crafting, you're trying to survive the elements and creatures that inhabit the land.
Hmm.
The creatures on this one, I think, are cannibals or something. So
Cannibals, like some Hannibal Lecter shit.
apparently,
Huh.
I had an encounter with two at one point. One didn't have it. They didn't even have a weapons. Well, one did. They were kind of just like roaming around being weird, and then I attacked them. And now I think their entire camp hates me. I don't
Hmm.
know if they hated me to begin with, but I wasn't willing to fuck around, so I took the fight to them. But yeah, so
It's fair.
Yeah, it's. I hate to say that's like any other survival game, but it kind of is. So you got your crafting and all that shit.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I've never played. I've seen like some videos on YouTube and whatnot from it. It always seemed kind of like it's like a kind of a horror game, right? Like
Yeah,
kind of
that
scary.
is the thing that it's got under. I mean, it's first person, and it does have that vibe when you play any game, any survival game in first person.
Oh, okay. I don't even remember.
I definitely when you see the frickin' cannibals jumping around all wild and shit, your heart starts beating a bit. So I think the horror tag is earned for sure.
Okay. I'm trying to even think like what the last horror game was that I played. I think like maybe Outlast or yeah, Outlast 2. Maybe. That was God, that was like a year ago. I didn't even finish it either. I'm a big bitch when it comes to horror games. I can't I can't do that stuff, man. Oh, it's something I really enjoy. Well, I shouldn't say really enjoy, but I enjoy like a horror film. But there's just something about like when you're actually playing the game and you're the one making all the decisions on where you're supposed to go and what you're gonna do, and then like that jump scare happens, and it's just
Yeah.
like, oof, tears my world down.
Well, this is it's also like it's open world, right? So
Oh, is it okay? Oh God, that would be even scarier.
yeah, so you can
Is it kind of
go
like?
pretty much anywhere you want and get lost and
Does it kind of feel like Rust?
um I can see
You
the
ever play Rust?
resemblance honestly. Like you build up your base and shit and defend yourself
Right.
against fucking weirdos.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was thinking about. Not as many dicks though.
Both figuratively and literally.
Well, I was I was talking literally. So many dicks in Rust.
Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah, I haven't really been playing too much though. I mean,
I have Rust, but I actually haven't played it. Just I haven't really had anyone to play it with because I've
hell, I
never.
think I have like 10 minutes on that game,
Yeah.
maybe. Let me see, actually. I've got my library open. Gosh darn it. Get out of here.
I've
Let's
got
see.
so many games that I've not played at all.
Yeah, I have 19 minutes in total on Rust. The last time I played it was January 27th of 2017. I have a disgusting amount of games on Steam. I have 507 games in my Steam library.
Wow. I thought I had a lot with just under 60.
Oh, what? That's nothing. Well, what happens is I've been a subscriber to that Humble Bundle stuff for like 3 years. So like every month I get like 10 new games that I don't ever play because they're like a bunch of indie titles or just some like low scale, you know, single A developers. Yeah, I have so many games on there. I have so many games on Steam that I've never even downloaded, let alone played. So, you know, that's fun.
I
I also play
have
like the same like 10 games over and over and over again.
20 games out of my 58 I have never played.
Are we even friends on Steam?
Uh,
I don't think we are.
I think we are.
Here, I'm gonna send my profile link in chat because I really don't think.
I don't think we are actually. Oh shit, we're discovering things. Why aren't you friends with me? All right, shooting you a friend request.
I'm like looking through my friends list. I was like, you're definitely not online. Oh wait, we're not friends. Wow. How'd that happen for so long?
I had no clue. We follow each other on Twitter, we're friends on Discord, and yet this somehow slipped by.
Did you send it?
Right now.
Audience, disregard this. That's funny.
There you go.
I feel like we were friends at one point. We had to have been, right? How did we?
I don't know.
No?
It's like it's like we've definitely played games together,
Right. That's what I'm
and
saying.
yet somehow this is a thing that didn't happen.
I don't know. Huh. That's that's funny. That's funny. Let's look at your games. So many trains. All
Oh
the
yeah,
trains.
top of the list all the time. Too many trains, too many for my own good, and now I drive trains,
Oh,
so now it's just
Portal
even more
2.
sad.
Portal 2 would be some good content for the YouTube channel. You and me could co-op that.
Twitch stream, let's go.
Twitch stream. I love Portal. I think those games are so fun.
Oh yeah, I'm slowly but surely picking up all the
How
old
in
Valve
the
games.
world do you have Left 4 Dead 2 but you've never played it?
I literally just bought it.
Okay. I hope you didn't fucking pay full price for it. That game's always on sale.
No, I bought a bundle. I got both Left 4 Dead
Okay.
games together.
Yeah, for like $4, I think, probably. Yeah,
Yeah,
I really enjoy those Left 4 Dead games. I used to play those a lot when I was in high school.
I think the
Like
only
on my
Valve
old
games I don't
Xbox.
have right now is the Half-Life series.
I own all of them, but I've never played them. Yep, I've never played them ever. Like I've played Half Life One like for an hour, but I've never like beaten it.
Right.
I just my problem is if I'm gonna go back and play like an old video game and like go through the terrible graphics and clunky controls and all that, like I'm probably gonna plug in my Nintendo 64 and play some Pokemon Stadium.
Nice.
Like I'm not gonna do it on my $1,000 computer, and when I could be playing a game that super smooth and doesn't look like it could play on my freaking e-machine's laptop.
A
Oh man, I
game that
remember
will
when I was.
probably crash every time you try to launch it on Windows 10.
Hmm. Oh, Windows 10 is the worst. I hate that. That's what the operating system is now.
Oh yeah, I've had a bunch of games so far that I've had to like fuck around with, especially old games.
Well,
Like
especially old games. Yeah.
I tried streaming Grand Theft Auto San Andreas because I felt like going back for some nostalgia, and I had to
Hmm.
install a mod for it to work.
Yeah, it's terrible. I
It,
remember I picked up, it was probably a year or two ago now. I picked up Bully on Steam on sale during like
oh, it's
the
such
winter
a good
sale or
game.
something. Oh, I love that game. But I picked it up on Steam because I was like, fuck yeah, I love this game. I'm gonna play it. So I'm playing. I probably played for like 2 or 3 hours, and then it just crashed. And it
Oof.
was like a big script error, like something with like the bit version of Windows 10, like wouldn't. It was just. So then I, kept trying to relaunch it and yada yada, and it would not run for me. And I was so disappointed, especially because I had played like over like the 2 hour like Steam refund window.
Oh yeah.
Ugh, it's awful. But
Yeah, it's a shame. 'Tis a shame.
right, well, what else you got for me tonight, man?
Oh,
Anything interesting?
I don't
So
know.
we basically concluded with, you know,
Make
don't be a
love, not
dick.
war.
Alabama sucks.
Oh yeah, there's something else about Alabama. They
What
didn't.
else?
You know, what's it called? Arthur?
There.
Yeah,
So
Arthur, the animated
like,
TV show.
oh yeah,
So there's a wedding where uh there's a wedding between two
Yeah,
gay characters,
yeah.
and Alabama
The
straight
teacher
up,
like got.
yeah,
Yeah, they didn't play
Ala
the episode. I did see that.
mhm.
They like refused to air the episode or whatnot. That's just so.
Dumb.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like, like that just. Like, what are you teaching to your kids, man? Like, this is why we're never gonna go anywhere in the world.
Exactly.
I hate the human race.
I think we should just take like I think like a bunch of us should get together, only the good boys, the best boys, and just
Best.
fuck off to a new planet.
Why don't we just tell everybody else to fuck off to that planet? As far as we know, Earth is the only region. So I would like to stay here and breathe.
Well, I mean, I can think of reasons. I think this planet, we've just fucked it beyond repair. That's why I want to go to a new planet.
Yeah, but we're not gonna live long enough to where it really matters.
We won't.
Right. Yeah, it's not my problem then. It's
All right.
primarily why I don't care about recycling. It's not my problem.
And I'm not having kids, so I couldn't give a shit either.
Good for you, dude.
Yeah, fuck kids. I mean, don't fuck kids, but like, fuck
don't
kids.
don't do that. Don't do that. Oh man, we're never gonna get any views.
Uh,
Well, before this shit goes on for 4 hours, we should probably just wrap it up. So we're already
I
at like
mean,
an
we're
hour
only
and a
at,
half.
yeah,
So
hour and a half.
let's let's not kill your render speed this time.
I was concerned with the last 4 hour episode because I've been
I
uploading them to SoundCloud now so they can be downloaded if someone's into that. But
Oh really?
I was having
That's
issues
cool.
with the 4 hour episode. I
Shocker.
managed to get it to work, thankfully. But
Oh really? I
yeah.
did actually go back and listen to that full thing the night you uploaded.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that was
Regret
very
saying
long.
anything?
Um, no,
No, it's
no,
pretty
not
good.
really. It was okay. I mean, I laughed a little bit
That's good.
because I kind of blacked out a little bit because I was drinking quite heavily that night, and I forgot so much about what we even talked about because we were
Going
fucking
topicless does
all over the
not
place,
endorse
dude.
drinking.
Ugh, going topicless doesn't fucking endorse topics either. Like Jesus Christ, we talked about God knows what in
We
that
talked
four
about
hour
so much
span.
stuff, and yet there were still things that we wanted to talk about and didn't cover.
We didn't even cover them today.
No,
Did you watch Endgame?
I did. Oh my god, that
Good.
movie's fucking amazing.
I don't give a shit about superheroes. I just wanted to get you riled up. I've never seen any of them.
I watched audience reactions on YouTube, and
Yeah,
I still get the joy and excitement and tears from watching the scenes.
like when Iron Man died.
Yeah, spoilers. Holy fuck.
Oh fuck you! That movie's. If you haven't seen it by now, suck my balls, dude.
That's
The
true.
movie came out a month ago. You don't care about the spoilers if you haven't watched it by now.
Not more than a month ago. No, yeah, a month ago. I was gonna say,
It was like a month ago.
yeah,
Spoiler culture is such bullshit. If you actually cared about the spoilers, then you would go and watch it.
true.
Like, go see the movie. If you don't want to be spoiled, don't wait for a big movie like that to come out on DVD or Netflix or whatever. Like, go watch it. It's the same shit with, like, TV shows. Like Game of Thrones. Like, spoilers for this last season of Game of Thrones, spoilers meant nothing. Everybody was on fucking Twitter making memes and just throwing the whole damn plot onto the internet.
Onto the chopping
Nobody
block.
cared. Yeah, nobody cared about spoilers. But it makes sense because if you're not watching it in real time when it comes out, like then you obviously don't care that much. So fuck you and your spoilers. like, like I was there. I was refreshing my HBO streaming service every like 2 minutes until the damn episode would be uploaded.
Damn.
Like waiting for it to freaking like show up on. And it would show up every Sunday at 8:58, and then you'd press play, and you couldn't fast forward through like the previews at the beginning. Yeah, you had to like play it through so that it like still started on like real time or whatever at 9 o'clock. But I watched it, and then I promptly tweeted funny memes after the show because,
As you should.
well, this whole season was a fucking meme, dude. So stupid. I won't say it because you haven't watched it. I won't like say too much, but because I
I
do
couldn't
think
care
if you,
less. So
well, I think it. So I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, look, if anybody were to go back now, if they've never watched the show, now that it's over, and you've got season 1 through 8 at your disposal, if you were to go back and rewatch it, that person, whoever watches it, should just stop at the end of season 6, and like that's the ending. Like, just live with that because you're gonna be more satisfied with that as an ending than watching season 7 and season 8. 100%.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like that's why I hate movies and TV shows that have series and they just go on longer than they need to.
Well, the big problem
Like,
is season 6. The end of season 6 was like the end of the books,
right.
and so like George R.R. Martin was like, he was done. Like he wasn't writing for the show anymore. Like he wrote for the show from the books. So like basically the writers for the show like just took everything from the books for like the first 6 seasons, and then season 7 and 8 was strictly on the writers to create, with like a little bit of input from George R. R. Martin. But I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure for season 8, Martin didn't even have like any input. Like he didn't have any say in the season or where he wanted it to go or anything. I'm not a reader, but if George R. R. Martin doesn't have a fucking heart attack before the new books come out, I would not mind reading those books to see how he actually wanted the damn story to end, because I know
Right.
it'll be completely different than how the TV show had it end. Because Martin's set for like 2 more books to release eventually, like if he doesn't die first. He's super fat. Sorry, body shaming. He is though. I mean, he's a big boy, and he's also. I mean, he's fairly old
I
already.
literally only know about him from South Park.
That's no, it was Family Guy. Do they do him in South Park too? I thought it was
Yeah.
Family Guy that they gagged on him for.
Haven't you heard of the
Family Guy's got
Wiener
a funny
the
gag.
Wiener song?
I don't think so.
Wiener
Is that a
wiener
newer
wiener
episode?
wiener wiener wiener
Oh
wiener
no,
wiener.
no, I don't know. I didn't see that episode. Family Guy did a funny bit on it though. I'll see if I can find it on YouTube and link it in chat for you for later, because
I'll
it's very funny. Oh yeah, here we go. God, this shit's a classic.
have to have a look at it. Yeah, because I watched the South Park one. I was like, oh, well, my entire basis on Game of Thrones is now based on this episode, and it's probably all wrong.
Yeah, so the basis of the episode that when Family Guy did it was Stewie got a prescription for Adderall. And so Brian like took the Adderall to like finish his book that he had been writing for like 12 years.
Oh,
you know? And they just like get so hyped up on like Adderall. It's a great episode. So you should watch that clip that
I
I linked
will.
in chat.
I'll do that when
But
we
yeah, I do
when.
think that we should probably wrap this up because
All right.
it's been
Yes.
real.
Endgame was great, even though Iron Man died.
Iron
But
Man died.
I
Fuck
tweeted
his
out
spoiler.
not long before that. I was like, I will only be fully satisfied with Endgame if Iron Man dies, and he died,
Really?
and I'm fully satisfied. Because I was like,
You didn't?
there's no way they could
Did you really
have
tweet that?
I genuinely did tweet that. You could go find it. I'll find it myself and link it.
Yeah, I was gonna say just search your name and then just type in Iron Man afterwards, and it'll pop up.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Why was that such a big thing? Like, was he just like destined to die or something?
I don't know if he was like destined to die or anything, but like it just made so much sense for a proper conclusion to the Avengers saga. Because if you think the whole MCU started with Iron Man, it would be proper fitting to end with him as well. If he had a proper send off, right? And that
Yeah.
proper send off could only ever come in a death. A true satisfying death, and I think that's what Endgame gave us.
Okay. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that.
What?
I don't know. I'm happy that you enjoyed the movie.
I did.
A
I
lot of my
think like
friends are into that,
yeah.
superhero universe stuff, and they were, they enjoyed it. They were blown away by it, this and that. But
I
I've just
definitely
never cared
don't
for it.
think
I
like
didn't grow up with superheroes, so
yeah, like being you not being like a Superman fan, I don't think you could watch Endgame as by itself and not get the full feel. I mean,
I don't think I'd
for
want to do that. I mean, I think if I ever were to like go back and watch them, I would want to watch like all of them. I don't think I'd be able to like get any sort of emotion by just watching the one movie. I'd be fucking lost as shit. But
exactly.
but two, I don't know. I like to watch things in their entirety if I'm gonna watch anything. Anymore though, I don't have the fucking attention span to sit down for a 3 hour movie. I just don't. Any other movies on your radar? Oh, did you see Detective Pikachu?
I did. That's another one that I
Was
saw.
it good?
It
I
was
want to
quite
see it.
enjoyable. I'm
Okay,
not like I'm not a Pokemon fan, and yet I
I
enjoyed it very
am.
much.
I'm a big Pokemon fan, so yeah, that's one that I want to see. I just hate going to movie theater. It's so expensive, so I'm gonna wait for that one to hit Amazon. Oh, there's another movie that just came out too. Oh, Secret Life of Pets 2. That dropped last weekend.
Yeah,
Excited for that
that's
one.
coming out in this coming month, I think.
It came out
Yeah.
in the States last weekend.
Oh, well, it's not out here yet. June 7th.
Dang.
Poor Canada,
Hey,
always behind on the
make
times.
make a trip to Washington, dude. See it early.
I could.
Record it. Sell those bootlegs.
Heck yeah.
Just kidding. Don't do that. It's illegal. Hella illegal. All right. Well, man, I'll let you wrap it on up
All right.
for
Thank
the fourth time. I think we tried
you
this.
for. So we've only been trying to wrap it up now for 15 minutes.
Typical.
Yeah, it makes sense of us. Uh, thanks for joining me for this lovely time.
Yeah, sorry it didn't happen last weekend. I know we tried last weekend. It just
That's fine.
didn't happen.
Apparently, I've got a few tweets with requesting Tony Stark died. Oh, I said he better die in Infinity War too, and he didn't. And I was disappointed. And then he died in this one. I was like, oh, it makes sense now.
Well, I'm glad that you got your wish.
Yes. I mean, it. You say it like that, it's fucking.
It's pretty morbid.
God, I fucking wish Iron Man would die already. God damn it. But no, it was quite fitting. Anyway, wrapping up. Yes. Thanks all for listening. Hope you enjoyed as we talked about various issues. What you should learn from this podcast episode is be nice, and you can change lives and change the world. Try to make what you want happen through sheer force, and you're just gonna look like an asshole. So don't do that. Gandhi, do you have anything to plug while you're here?
You could follow me on Instagram at Drinks with Gandhi. Gandhi is Gandhi. That is the correct spelling. For anybody that thinks that it's not, you can go fuck yourself.
Nice.
But that's my. I have a uh, post fancy craft beer and stuff like that. So check it out. It's pretty small. I think I got like 50 followers. What up?
Nice. Popular. Hella, you famous, dude.
Hella popular. But thanks for the invite again. You know I like to do this with you, so
Oh yeah, we
anytime.
get some wholesome conversations going.
Yeah, we get something going. I don't know if it's wholesome or a conversation even, but we get something going. I mean, well, I appreciate the time. You take it easy.
Found the tweet. It's in chat.
We 100% satisfied with Avengers Endgame if Tony Stark dies. Jesus, that's crazy. Oh, that's
Yeah, and that was
hilarious.
on April 3rd.
Oh wow, so that was like way before the movie came out.
Yeah.
It was a couple weeks before it came out. Huh.
So yeah,
Jeez. You're just
I am a hundred.
predicting futures
I'm
here.
100% satisfied. I was I was debating on like when I saw Endgame, I was debating on coming onto Twitter and be like, so I saw Endgame. I'm 100% satisfied, but I knew like at least two people would have made the connection and be like, fucking spoilers, cunt.
Eh, fuck them. They should have saw it first.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. That's another life lesson that this podcast can bring. Fuck your spoiler culture because go watch it, okay? Stay off
Exactly.
social media and go fucking watch it.
Bury your phone, unplug your computer, and go watch the damn
Mhm.
movie.
Go watch the damn movie and then you won't have to worry about spoilers.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh, the thing that we're talking about right now is one of my tweets, and if you want to see more, you can check me out on Twitter at CJDipper1212. I also do streaming on Twitch, which is CJDipper1212 _ Twitch, if that's interesting to you. Other than that, YouTube, same name. That's about it for me. New episodes, trying to get them every 2 weeks, so keep an eye out for that as well. I think that's everything. Uh, yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good weekend. Have a good week. Enjoy your life. See you later. Bye bye.